Assalamu alaikum everyone, Aviation Cadet Sabir Shah from my channel Aviation Cadet 9936. Previous video I've talked about the Dubai Airshow Tejas unfortunate crash that ended up in another aviational loss. Wing Commander Sial, he gave his life. So there's a bit of update from the previous video I uploaded on the same day, where the information was very limited and only a few videos were circulating, but now I have more data on it, and I will correct a few of my misquoting things in the previous one for the viewers, my viewers, just a few. I'm proud of you guys still listening to me. Thank you very much. Okay, so first of all, this negative G-turn maneuver, what is it? And it's also called the outside turn. And why is it performed? Previously, before the BVR, Beyond Visual Range combat thingy, it was used to be dogfight. So in a dogfight, what you have to do is you have to come behind the aircraft, the enemy aircraft, and once you are right behind it, you can easily lock it down and shoot it up. So if you're at the back, very good. But if you're in front, what are you going to do? So if you're in front, you need to, do the maneuvers to get yourself away from the front and try to come back to the plane at your back. So a negative G-turn is in which you would show, now you are the front aircraft and you are being a target. So what you show that you are going to turn, let's say this direction. So the pilot at the back is going to do the same thing. It's going to turn behind you. But what you do, you pull negative G's and your canopy is facing outside and you go away. So this is going to give you ample lot of time to come back and, get this tail removed. So that's the basic concept of this maneuver. But the dogfight is so short that you don't have enough time to pull this maneuver. So there are no practical examples of, I don't know of any, but this has been taught, or at least shown by the instructor pilots to the student pilots, and theoretically it is possible. And in air shows, we physically see that. And most of the times, the delta wings are involved because once they are going away from the canopy towards the belly, the drag induced by the delta wing is going to help them, perform this one. But rest of the aircraft, like those who don't have these kind of wings, it's not easy to be pulled. So that's why you don't see F-16s or, any other modern aircrafts doing this maneuver, but you always see Rafale or, like in this case, Tejas. They are doing this maneuver. Mirages, like Mirages 3 and 5 are too heavy to perform this kind of maneuver. Heavy in a sense that their weight to drag ratio is too high, so they would definitely fall off right away, boom, because they're very old technology. But even then, it is to some practical demonstration, it is possible. So that's about the negative G-turn. So in a negative G-turn, once you're completing a circle, your canopy is away from the center point. That's it. This is a negative G-turn. Now, in the previous video, I said that once the aircraft was the Teja, it's coming from this. Now I'm the camera. The camera's taking the video. So it's coming straight and level. Then it banks to its right wing is down, left wing is up. So it's banking to the left. And then negative G's are pushed in. So it's going away from the camera. And then it tries to roll towards its right and come out. And then eventually it doesn't come out and you crash. And I said, once you put a bank in, you gave the opposite rudder. Now we call it side skidding, side slipping. And in that, the aircraft, if you put the opposite rudder, the aircraft yaw is going to keep the nose up, and the aircraft is going to slide towards the right side. If in a straighten level, you're going this way, you put left rudder and right aileron, the aircraft should turn back right. But because of the left aileron, it doesn't go like this. It goes like a car that has a problem with the shock absorber. So it's coming straight but tilted towards one side. So you see it like this way. So normally once we have fire on the left wing, and we don't want the fire to come to the fuel tanks, so we do this side skidding. It's called the side skidding. The aircraft is pretty much flying in the same direction, but it's a bit tilted. So that's why I said probably it is the opposite rudder, and the turn of direction, opposite rudder was given, and he didn't take it off. So once he got inverted, the yaw took him down. But I want to change that one after talking to one of my coursemates who has been flying Mirages for how many decades, like 3 decades, talking in really detail, and he made my concepts clear about that one. We have never practiced this maneuver. At least I have never done that one in my short flying career. So now let's talk about this incident, what has happened. So now there's another video circulating of same Tejas doing show in 2022 in Singapore.
There she goes, banking right and turning left.
And there it showed another, that was a wing commander saying something. Oh yeah, there's another correction. In my previous video, the pilot was not right again. Social media, fake news, got be the victim again, but doesn't matter. Soul has left the world, so this is what matters. Again, condolences to the family. So this is coming in. In that video, if you see it clearly, again, Tejas is coming in, again from the left side of the screen, gives full right bank, about 110, 120 degrees, and then pushes negative G's. What are negative G's? It's in a certain level. Once you pull down, the G pressure goes opposite. What happens on the body? The whole blood goes up towards your brain. And there's a certain limit to that one. -3 is the limit. So if you exceed -3, this brain is going to pop because the veins in the small vessels, the capillaries, they cannot take this much blood pressure into your brain. But definitely this was within limits. So turn in Singapore, they turn and push the negative G's. So once it was rolling to recover, what it did was it gave the stick full forward in an inverted flight, almost inverted, 110 to 120 degrees. 180 is the fully inverted where the belly's up and canopy's down, but this is like 110 to 120. So he gave the full forward pressure, and that made the nose go up on the horizon, inverted. If it's this way, you give the full front stick, it's going to go below the horizon. But if you're inverted and you give the full front pressure, the nose is going to go up the horizon. So in Singapore, the pilot did that. Once it turned, first what it did, it gave the full, while rolling towards the same side, like right aileron. And the nose came up the horizon, and that's where once he rolled 180 degrees opposite, he gave the positive G's and came out. Like positive G's up might be 2 or 2.5. So if you compare that with the Tejas in Dubai Airshow, the pilot did initiate in the same way, did give negative Gs, but once he was coming out of it, he was rolling towards his right, further rolling towards the right and trying to come out. What he didn't do, once he was inverted, he didn't put the forward pressure, the negative G's enough. He probably released, maybe the control column was in the middle. So for that, what happened? Now the nose went down. If you can see it clearly. The nose went down very quickly. The nose should have been above the horizon. Horizon is the imaginary line between the sky and the earth. But in this case, clearly we can see the nose came down. And because it's mechanical most of the times, I can close my eyes and perform a loop. Close my eyes. Anyone can do that, because there's something which are very mechanical. Although we go with the visual references. Let me tell you what that simple aileron roll. What do we do? For about 3 or 4 seconds, we put the nose down to gain the speed to the ears. We don't want to put the throttles full in. We keep them at 70 to 80% and of power. And then we get the nose down. And with the descent, the airspeed increases. So round about the aircrafts have been flying 130 knots. We start to ease up on horizon at 149, like 3 or 4 seconds. On a certain level, we are at about 110 knots. Once we put the nose down, once we reach 130 knots, we start to pull up. Now, it depends on the rate of descent. I want to acquire 140 knots. So probably with let's say 1,000 feet per minute, if I'm coming down, I'll pull like, if I want to acquire 140 knots, I would come at about 130 knots, a little less than that one. So once I would pull with constant G's, like 2 or 3, once I pull up, once I would be on the horizon, 130 divided by 10 is 13 knots. So my speed would increase because of the momentum from 130, although at 130 should be like stop, right? No, but because of the momentum, and while I'm coming up, the speed will be around 140, 143 knots. And that's, first I will stop, it's going pitch up movement. So check, we call it check. Now pitch up movement has been stopped, roll, and once a roll starts to initiate, full same side rudder in, depending on, it goes to full from re-roll. It goes to full once the roll is, because you have to rotate the nose around the horizon. So what are the steps? Now close my eyes, down, speed acquired, 3 seconds, up on horizon, it takes like 2 seconds, check, roll, rudder in. So see, 4 steps. So for a negative G turn, or the outside G turn, same steps. You're coming in, straighten level. Step 1, tip your wing, almost inverted. Step 2, control column to a little bit between the full forward to the middle, between that one, so 45 degrees in front, right? And once you're rolling out, you have to get it to full aft. That's step number 3. And you're giving the same side aileron to get the roll initiated. And once you are your nose up, or your belly is towards the ground, your nose up, you start pushing back. So these are like 4 or 5 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then once your nose is above the horizon, you give the positive G's. 5. What Tejas did in Dubai Airshow, he initiated the turn, perfect. Got the negative G's in, perfect. Once he was rolling out, he eased up on the controls, got almost back to the center position. I mean, it's a fly-by-wire, so probably on the sides, but whatever. So I've been flying not fly-by-wire aircraft, so that's why I'm still with the orthodox traditional, control columns. But anyhow, the idea is the same. So if you see, once his nose got rotated, once he was rotating the nose, he eased up on the pressure, so the nose went down. Once the nose went down, his mind already knows what's the next step in what seconds. It's just like when you go to the bathroom, as soon as you enter, you hit the light, and you don't even see that. That's in your brain. So the same is the case with these kind of pilots practicing for so long that some things are naturally happening. So that's what happened. He eased up somehow. And once his nose rotated slower than the Singapore one, and his mind kicked in, and he started giving the back pressure, and the plane made a better roll. But his roll was fully coordinated, so he did roll out certain level, but he pushed on positive G's too early, at least 1 second early. If we compare that with the Tejas in Singapore, their speeds were different, okay? Maybe that was at 400 knots, this one at 450 knots, or that was at 450 knots, this one is at 400 knots, so we don't know. But what mattered was that he did not, well, once he was in a positive G, a negative G turn, once he had to roll out, he did not put enough negative G's to get the nose up above the horizon. His nose was below the horizon, and where he initiated his positive G's, and that how it crashed. So that was my 2 cents on this incident. This is the update, and I think these maneuvers look really good for the audience. But what happens to the pilots? That's a separate issue. It's not good for health. And these negative G's and then getting into positive G's, because all your capillaries, veins are empty, all the blood is trying to go towards above the chest, towards your brain. And then once you get rid of the negative G's, you start putting positive G's, all this blood trying to go to your feet. So this flow of blood gives you G-zoles. Like sometimes once you fly off and then you go home and you see bruises on your body, that happens very normally. Not a big thing, goes away in 2 or 3 days, but yep. So my final verdict on this one is probably not a G-lock, but an A-lock, in which for a few seconds, he was drained out, and he had no idea what he was doing. And in the end, we can see a chute kind of thingy coming out. So probably he did apply for the ejection, but was not successful. It was already too late. So anyhow, rest in peace to the pilot. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.